Okay, hopefully this will work. So I just went live about 10 minutes ago and I moved my computer and lighting and my camera that I had just dropped. So I had to reset everything, create a new episode, a new stream. So here I am. Let's start over. Take two. Saturday, January 8th, 11:45 a.m. Happy New Year, everyone. And this is good. At least I could start over again. Um, so I'm here to share with you my experiences of the last 2 weeks up here in the mountains. And I don't know if anyone's going to see this now live since I created a new stream. Um, so I want to share this because I haven't experienced such a series of back-to-back uh, occurrences, all falling in line, leaning leaning uh, towards a direction that I need to be aware of and change that I need to be aware of. And it was very hard. It was like back to back, and not even having a break to breathe, take a moment, to just catch up with all the energy that had been uh, coming around me. So um, now, a week after all this has happened, I now have a few minutes, actually, a few days, to just do a recheck on me and reevaluate things that that have happened around me but still affected me. So, hi, artsy girl Marilyn. So there'll be hesitation as I chat because I'm trying to assess things as I'm talking to you. Hello, Candy. Thank you. I'm happy you made it. Welcome. I had a problem. I had a technical issue earlier, and I had to reset this live. So thank you for joining. Thank you so much. So, my signs and omens and fight versus flight um, experiences that I had. Hi, Liv. How are you? So I'm going to talk for a little bit, and please um, join in the chat, exchange information amongst yourself, and if you have any questions, put them in caps. So I want to wish everyone a happy New Year. Um, Mine started off really rough. And even the week before, the week of Christmas, it started um, even rougher. So, yeah, the lighting's beautiful here. We've had some wonderful sunny weather the last few days. So I'm really um, embracing this right now. It's still a little chilly up here. So, for those of you who don't know, I live in the mountains of Southern California. I've been here for a few years, and there's been various storms in previous winters that have hit different areas of the mountain. And in the time that I've been here, these storms have sort of skirted around the town that I live in until this one. Um, and I'll just backtrack a little bit. About 2 years ago, the nearest town that I live in, about 15 minutes away, um, got hit with one of the worst storms. Actually, we got it here as well. But Crestline is the town that I'm talking about in particular, got hit with the worst storms in 40 years. There were 7 days without power, lots of damage to trees. I left the the mountain area when I heard that this particular storm was coming because it was showing signs that it was going to be very fierce and leaving not inches of snow, but many feet of snow, and that's something that I couldn't handle, so I left. I was gone for 5 days, came back home, my neighbor sent me pictures. My driveway was covered with I don't know how many feet of snow. I could not see the driveway, I could not see the walkway. So this was 2 years ago, and the town of Crestline had no power, as I mentioned, for 7 days. So fast forward, um, few days after Christmas, actually the day after Christmas, um, we got a series of power outages right in the town that I live in. The neighborhood was all affected. So we had just gotten the storm, in particular, Hi Sweetheart, that just came through, and it left quite a bit of snow, almost 6 to 8 inches, but did a lot of damage. And I remember Christmas going into the 20 Hi, Michelle. Going into the 26th, right around midnight, I was about to fall asleep, or I was falling asleep. I was reading, and I hear a loud bam. It's like that was an explosion. It sounds like one of the Transformers. And as soon as that happened, the power went out. And live. I'm not going to do any readings because this is a personal episode that I'm sharing because of what's happened. So I won't be doing any readings today. So you're more than welcome to listen or just take part in the conversation here with people, introduce yourself. That's fine. But here, this video is just to update people as to what's been going on. You're welcome. So that was the first of a series of power outages that we had up here. So it was below freezing outside, like around 28, 29 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think makes it like around -2. Not that cold in comparison to other areas. But inside this house, it was around 43, 44 degrees without any power. And we had this 3 times within a week. And worrying about what to do with the food. Luckily, it's cold outside, so I had a styrofoam insulating carrier that I put food in, and I left it outside because it's cold enough, and I know that any food, any meat, anything like that that is perishable would be okay outside. It may freeze, but at least I could still eat it. But this was very hard. Power would come on, and I I would try and catch up on things. Power goes off again. And so this whole experience, and there's more going on with what I'm going to be sharing with you. It's more than the power outages. Um, it became very unnerving for me, very unsettled, because I'm trying to keep balance. I'm trying to keep strong, trying to keep warm. If anyone knows what it's like when it's 43, 44 degrees and you're trying to keep warm and you're sleeping with your sweater, you're sleeping with your clothes, you're sleeping with your cat who's also freezing as well. Hi, Jen, how are you? And my fireplace right there, a wonderful godsend, but the only way that I could keep warm was I literally have to get right to the grill because it doesn't radiate heat. This fireplace, as beautiful as it is, um, you have to literally sit up there. So I was curled up there with 2 layers of these things, bundled up with jacket and blanket, trying to keep warm because I'm wet if I'm shoveling snow outside and there's no heat. And so all of this is jarring. Hi, Gerald. How are you, Jen? Hello. Thank you for coming in, everyone. And so it just felt like I wasn't, not that it's a win-win situation, but I was really fighting with the powers of Mother Nature. And you can't win. There's no power, there's no heat. You know, um, I'm going to bed early because I can't read. I can read a little bit. I pulled a few cards, but my energy was just draining as the power would come on and then it would go off again. So that's where I moved into flight mode. I just felt like it's survival. And it really broke me down. I kept going, but I mean, my God, when you go through something like this and it's so cold and I have to deal with icy conditions outside, when it snows so much up here, the rule of thumb is you have to keep shoveling because we had rain and snow mixed in. So once it got below freezing, that wet snow turned to ice. So I did as much as I could of the driveway. I had a neighbor to help me break down the berm that came up twice. Um, I was exhausted with that, exhausted dealing with no heat, um, not eating great. Um, and to kind of backtrack before all of this, um, the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve, there are 3 ways to get to the mountain up here. The west side, the east side. The east side's further up, higher up in the elevations to get to the other side of the mountain resorts like Big Bear and Snow Valley. The main road that goes up through my mountain that passes through Crestline, Lake Arrowhead, all the way up to Big Bear is the 18. Now I'm on the west side. The 18 on Christmas Eve, I found this out when I went out to go down the hill, was closed. All of it was closed all the way down. And it wasn't until I was trying to get back up that Caltrans, hi sweetheart, that Caltrans, California Transportation, said that a chunk of, and I saw a picture of it, a chunk of Highway 18, one of the roads, broke off and fell down the mountain. This is Christmas Eve, one of the most popular times of the year for people to come up here to visit from the west. That's the side that I take to get to my town, is now closed. I have to go all the way around, like an hour and 15 minutes. Normally it's about 30 minutes for me to get up here. I went down one of the longer ways. Traffic, okay? Coming back home, I went the other way going towards Big Bear. Traffic. So as of now, the 18 is closed indefinitely. So we have to take these back routes to get down the hill. Some people still don't have power. There's still damage done to the roads. And I was just like, wow, this is incredible. Before Christmas Eve, anything can happen. It's no one's fault. This happened and the timing that it happened. It was, Christmas Eve. And then we get this snowstorm that came 2 days after that put winds 20, 30 miles an hour. I have broken, I don't know if you'll be able to see. I don't think you could see. There you go. That's part of trees that broke down on the property. It's a large pile. There's a pile outside. There's a large trunk that's stuck on top of the tree. This was a really bad storm. Not so much snow, but more wind, and going all the way up the 18, there's just broken trees. It's very hard to see this because you know, I love living up here in nature, so on and so forth. So so until now, or right as of now, we don't know what's happening with 18. It's major damage. It's a two-lane highway, so basically, going one direction and then going up the other direction. One of those roads is completely gone. It's down the mountain. It's not a large chunk, but it's a chunk that they have to close down the road. So I'm not literally stuck up here, but um, my commute's a mess because I do go down the hill, the mountain. Hi, Joey. How are you? Julianne. Hi. How are you? I do go down the mountain quite a few times, but now it's taking me longer. It's adding 15 miles to my commute time wise. I'm a stickler when it comes to time, even though I start late sometimes when I do my YouTube lives. But the amount of traffic, I've already seen accidents of people coming up the mountain because it's still a holiday. I think this is the last week of people spending time up here in the mountain, so they're trying to come down. I've seen accidents, um, and it's just like, wow. So we don't know what's going to happen. Waiting to see what's going to happen here with the damage done here with the trees on the property. There's 3 bathrooms in this home. 2 of the bathrooms doesn't have electricity. That's no big deal because I can still use any of the bathrooms. I just need to put a candle, a flashlight. So when the power went off, there's damage done to the bathrooms. Again, I'm grateful. Some of my neighbors, um, when this storm hit, I guess, or when the transformer explode, they don't have kitchen. They don't have power to their kitchen. Some people, I don't know, maybe this has already been worked out. They don't have any heat still. Their central heating, electrically, it's shorted various areas of the house, um, or houses for people here. So we weren't aware of that until the day after the first transformer exploded. And and people are like, "Do you have power?" I go, "Yeah, I have power, but not here." So we're realizing the extent of the damages is quite spread out throughout the neighborhood with some people. Okay, so that was that. Okay, so 3 days with no power, and in between. The last day we didn't have power was New Year's Day, which is leading to my second sign, or my third series of signs and omens. Um, and I don't have a generator, Candy. I think only 2 neighbors here in the area had generators, one across the street and an elderly couple across the way, which is understandable. Everyone else here that I know nearby, they don't. So that's why I was dealing with the temperatures in here the way that I was, just doing the best that I could. Um, and and so the last power outage we had, it was every other day we had an outage, and it would be gone for like a day, day and a half. It's still like 30 degrees outside. So normally if it's around 30 to maybe 40 degrees outside, it's usually about 10 to maybe 15 degrees warmer in here, warmer, but it's still cold. So, um, New Year's Day, okay? There's still more to this, okay? Storm, road closure, okay? I didn't mention this to a lot of people, but I just need to tie this in because it's a series of signs and omens for me. Um, New Year's Day, I had a reading event out in the desert that I was really looking forward to going. And I'm on my way. I was set to do a reading for about 16 people for a New Year's Day party. And I'm driving there, and about 10, 15 minutes away. Um, and I'm not kidding about this, everyone. And I giggle, but I giggle like in the sense of, okay, it is what it is. I got rear-ended. So I'm on my way, I'm like 10, 15 minutes away. I get rear-ended by a truck behind me. I was I was stopped. We were at a stoplight. The car in front of me stopped short. I stopped short. The truck behind me stopped, but not in time. So I now have damage done to my car. Rear bumper damage. Um, and the person didn't have insurance. Yeah, I know. It's everyone, please smile with me because it is what it is. And when that happened, when I got rear-ended on New Year's Day, going to an event where I'm gonna be reading for people, and you know how much I enjoy doing readings. We pulled over, luckily she didn't run off, she was cool. We went to the nearest parking lot, and I'm like this, and I get a minute, I calm my nerves down, I get out of the car, and as I'm getting out of the car, it's like, I'm jinxed. I'm jinxed. I'm hexed. This is this is unbelievable. So, um, I know. I'm grateful. Believe me, I've thought about all of this, Candy. I've thought about all of this. Um, it could have been worse. Yes, that person behind me had a large truck, and if she didn't stop, I think it could have been worse. Um, there's more damage done, unfortunately, to her car than my car. So we exchanged information. She has no insurance, but I'm covered. Um, my insurance is gonna cover it, but I'm gonna probably be without a car for a while, and I just have to deal with that. Um, so the next thing was signs and omens. Remember, this is what I'm talking about. And I'll look at everyone's comments. I just need to get this out. Um, after she left, I had my lunch and I contacted the host of the party to let her know what happened. And I had to think, how am I going to do this? How am I going to go to this party, considering what's just happened the last week, where my nerves were already frazzled, but I had gotten myself to a point to prepare myself to do this reading, or to do these readings at this party, and I enjoy it, it's like, "Okay, doing these readings, I'm gonna feel good because it's a form of healing, and, I'm interpreting, I'm helping people in various situations." So, I got in the car, and I was I was gonna be on time until this happened. I got in the car, don't worry, everything was fine from here until then, until I got there, and I pulled my pack of cards, I got my bag together. I did this. I just inhale, exhaled a few times because I still felt the fight or flight in me starting to rise, and I had to quell it. So I breathed in, exhaled, got to the door, host came in, she says, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." My head was a little hurt because I got a little bit of this, the jolt, but I did mind over matter. I really wanted to be at this event. And when I walked into the room and I saw everyone and I felt their energy, this particular group of people were very special. There is something very unique about them. And I got to know more about this energy when I was doing readings for these people. And I realized these people were all came from a place of having a spiritual connection. Some of them were burners, and I was there for 4 hours doing readings. And I took a breather. And one of the people that I did a reading for was a Reiki healer and a sports medicine therapist. And she heard what happened. And I asked her, could you do me a favor when I'm done doing readings? Could you do some healing on me? Just like around the area here. And she goes, absolutely. And she had smiles. When you have a healer, they're very strong, they're very confident, they're very empowering. They want to be there for you. She had a smile on her face throughout the entire time that I was doing the reading. And it's like, I need this kind of energy. And I approached her and she said, absolutely. Yes, I know, Michelle. Yeah. Um, so we finished the readings and I get to spend time with this particular woman. Her name's Gina. And we did in the area where I was doing readings. There's a loft. Actually, the house where I was reading and talk about energy and spiritual forces was actually an octagon. It was one of these houses that had octagon corners. So when you would go to one area of the house, it would echo. It was sort of like a sound chamber. And that's what I was saying when I came in to this house, just the shape and the energy and the people being there. It's like, I think this is going to be good. So Gina worked on me. She did some healing and originally she's from Peru. So she did some prayer. She did some spiritual energy healing work. She talked to me about my mom, which I thought, and I'll wrap it up soon so I can converse with you. She talked about my mom and she said my mom is feeling like I haven't been connecting with her. Okay. So when she said that, I breathed in and I exhaled. And it took me to a moment during the time of the power outage. I completely forgot about this. I'm going to turn, I don't know if you could see, you can't see it. Here, I'm going to step away for a second so I could show you. This picture that I'm going to show you was in a frame with a glass frame. And during the power outage and the winds, chunks of the tree was falling in the house. It was banging against the house. And I remember when I was falling asleep, I heard a large bang and a crash. Okay. Remember what I'm talking about here? Signs and omens. I heard the crash and I thought, okay, something outside fell again. I'll deal with it. I woke up the next morning and when I walked down the stairs, this is my mom and me. This picture fell down from the fireplace mantle and crashed and landed, funny enough, on the pumpkins that you see right there. So the picture was right above here. So with all the ruckus going on outside with the wind and the trees, it banged. That picture frame fell and this fell down. This is before I met Gina. And when she told me that, when I saw this, first off, when I saw this, it's like, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. My mom passed away 27 years ago. So when Gina told me that my mom feels like I haven't been talking to her, I didn't cry. It's like, okay, it's unbelievable, everyone, what I have gone through with road blockages, power outages, dealing with the cold, having no power, seeing what's going to happen next, dealing with snow and shoveling, which a lot of you know that I don't like doing, but particular this. And then having this car accident happen. And then when I came back from that party, I had a wonderful healing session. There were 2 gentlemen at this party that were able to fix my bumper. One of the mud flaps from my car fell off, so they were able to take this off. I have to emphasize showing the visual because it just solidifies the way things have happened. So they were safely able to put that bumper back on so it wasn't flapping. And I drove all the way back to the mountains. Okay, this is New Year's Day. And I get home. I'm driving up. Sorry, I'm jumping back and forth from my mom to this. And I will address the situation with my mom. I get back home and I park my car and I get out. And it's like, wow, it's dark. I open my door, generators are on, and I have a motion sensor right over the driveway. It didn't go off. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Another outage. Sure enough, I go home, there's no lights. So that's the last outage. That was on New Year's Day. So, car accident, wonderful time at this party. They gave me some food, wonderful energy. Go home, looking forward to going home to a warm house. No power. So yes, signs and omens, and especially with this, and with what this healer was saying to me, that your mom feels like you haven't been talking to her. And I even have not had a moment to address this because I had to deal with a power outage, and it's just hitting me now. And I'm sorry, Mom. And I don't know what year this was taken, probably in the early 70s. So I need to get this. I still have the frame. I just got to get glass put onto it. I have the original. This is a Xerox because the original I don't want to put out and have it exposed to like the sun or anything like that, so it gets damaged. So I have this Xerox. Here, I think my mom was 27 in this picture. So all of this was having me think about where to go being here up in the mountains, finding the struggles that comes with this. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen at some point. But I didn't think it would come being bound to happen, being, winter storm damage and being what it is. They've been doing so much work up here. They've been cutting down the trees, replacing transformers. And I was just so like, why did this still happen? And it doesn't matter. It happened. I have power on. I'm grateful for this. But long-term wise, it's really got me thinking about my place, my spiritual, physical, emotional place being here. So that's what I'm going to be thinking about over the next few weeks. And seeing if all these signs that are happening, all these blocks, these detours are signs that it's time to make a change. And it's something that I've been feeling, in all honesty, it's something that I've been feeling. Um, but I didn't have any directions as to what's going on. So Julianne Victoria, you probably know what I'm talking about by what I just said. And I needed something to happen. And I think maybe subconsciously I knew this. And all these occurrences that have happened, I'm just like, okay, now's the time. Now's the time to start moving along. Um, I'm going to look at comments. I know I keep saying this. Bear with me, everyone. Um, I want to share some items that was gifted to me that has helped me during this time. Okay, Julianne Victoria sent me I'll call this a care package. The same with Michelle Marie of Astrological Tarot. She sent me this Amy's Prosperity Jar. I received this package the day that the road went out. I didn't open it until I got home because I was going down the hill and I just held on to the package. And then I have Julianne Victoria's, the meanings of what's in the jar, the mint, the chamomile, the clove. And so when I got this, when we had the first power outage, I look at this and it's very light. It was just something very nurturing. It's a jar and there's herbs in it. Some people be like, what is this? And there's the feather. So Julianne Victoria, I want to say thank you. This energy that's in this jar, and I still feel it, lightened for me a little bit what was going on. There was something just very delicate and very sensitive with this jar. And so it worked very nicely. So the prosperity, I'm going to use this as strength. It's on my table. It's going to stay on my table. And I have here, there's mint, chamomile, and clove. Good luck, money, and prosperity. And she anointed it with vetiver oil, which is for money and things to attract what you desire the most. And then the feather, she writes here, assists in the flow of prosperity to you. May 2022 and beyond bring you all you desire. So I think this is where the work begins. So Julianne Victoria, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for this. Okay. And it stays on my table. Michelle Marie got this Mystic Rose candle. And it's on the back of, it's on the bottom. There's rose and there's some other scents that are in this. So I picked up both of these packages the day of the washout on the road. And so this came in very good because 2 days later we had the power outage. So luckily I have candles, but this one helped. This one was of assistance. And Michelle, I still have a few more of these, so thank you. I still have a few more of these. So thank you so much for that. And the tea. So Michelle Marie's package was like a food care package. The timing, again, signs and omens, was appropriate for me to receive these items from both of these beautiful souls. And then I have the card that Michelle sent me. So I can't, signs and omens, timing of of how everything happens and the receiving of these items during this tough time was of great value for me. So I'm feeling better. Um, I lost some time away from work, so I'm managing that my own way. Um, let me look. I want to go through the comments here because I still have more, but that's it. That was it of signs of omens as of now. And hang on. Okay. Just in case, every little bit doesn't hurt, right? Knock on wood. Um, so I'm going to look at the comments. I've been talking for 40 minutes. Um, I also pulled some cards during the time that all this was happening, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, I'm going to scroll up as much as I can. Let's see. I'm looking very quickly. Okay, Jen says here, I couldn't live in cold like that. Well, when I moved up here, I wasn't told about how bad the winters were. The property management people said that the winters here have been mild before I moved in, but I have a feeling that they knew that their winters probably were a little bit more intense. So anyhow, it is what it is. The house is beautiful though. I love it. Um, Live writes, what do you think about bird omens? You probably already heard. Because chaos kept on happening when I saw birds, and today I lost my cat. I'm sorry, Live. And a pigeon was just hurt on the sidewalk. I believe I'm in an area where there's crows, ravens, which you probably heard in the background. I have blue jays. Um, I just recently got the Crow's Magic Tarot, which is an out of print deck that Astro Lady Tarot Anna enjoys working with. So I saw the deck on her channel, and I really got drawn to it. And I'm feeling more in lieu of what's happened. I'm listening even more so to the energy of the crows and watching them. But yes, crows, they have their own way of showing their signs and omens. I didn't feel in these series of circumstances that I was getting a warning directly from the crows, because they're always cocking. They're always like, "Rah, rah," in the background, so they do that when they see Spirit. Spirit's my cat. When he goes outside, they always cock outside when they see him. But yes, especially living up here, I do feel very strongly that, in my connection with animals that, birds, animals, they feel change in weather, seasons, they start hibernating. So I really wasn't paying attention with the storms that came up, listening to what they had to say. Um, so yeah, and I can't do that. I can't really, listen to the birds all the time, and think, "Oh, something's gonna happen." I don't live my life like that. Let's see here. Um, let's see. Michelle, that's insane. So glad you're okay. Do you have enough supplies to get you through this? Oh, you have flooding in Washington. Wow, you can't go north, south. Wow. Okay. Um, Food-wise, yes, because I'm able to go up and down the mountain. I have to take a different route, and it just takes me longer. So when my car goes into the shop, I'm going to be without a car for a week, but I'll just get my supplies, my food, whatever I need, and just hunker down here. Um, and I hope this is the last of it. You know, we're still in the crone season. I almost want to call this a crone season of winter. And boy, did she ever have a message to say, at least for me, through all these outside incidences. Um, let's see. Candy, I watched the channel Trent and Allie, and they live up in the mountains, and it's insane. The weather difference just going up in the mountain. Yeah, I mean, I'm at 5,800 elevation, so when winter storms come up here, we always get the red flag warnings with the Weather Channel and other weather stations. So, it's usually my neighborhood, it's elevations like 5,000, 5,500 elevation on up that gets affected the most, so we get more snow. Not as high as Big Bear, which is about 7,000 square feet. They get dumped with snow. So whatever we get here and me complaining and whatnot is nothing in comparison to what they get up there. And I don't even drive up there during the winter because there's so much going on there. Um, let's see here. Candy writes, "Oh, I can feel how your heart must have been sinking on repeat from here, Amy. Every time the yeah, have I have a timer on my lights here in the living room, and the other night I was cooking and the light went off. It was the only light I had off, and I'm like, "God damn it, again?" I was just like, "Another one?" And I was just like, "Oh, I'm done with this. I'm done with this." And I stopped, just had a second. It's like, "Oh, wait a second. I had it on a timer." So yeah, yeah, I'm still a little bit on edge with that. And even when it comes to driving, um, I get a little bit nervous when someone comes up behind me, especially with the way people drive these days. If they come up really fast, I just like so I'm working through that. I'm working through that. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Jen, the cold would have been enough to break me, that the truck would have pushed me over. Yeah, but it's one of these things, Jen, it's like, what is your breaking point? And my tarot card of the year is the strength card. It's the number 8. It's an 8 year for me. So I can read it as either justice or strength, but I definitely pulled and relate to it as being the strength card from my birthday until May of this year when I move into the hermit. So this is kind of interesting, the transition that's happening right now. Um, but I'll talk about that later on. Uranus and Taurus. Yeah, I know, Michelle. Um, Uranus and Taurus has been in that placement for a while and it retrograded. So I couldn't quite understand astrologically why all of a sudden it all happened. So obviously it's other signs, other planetary influences that were showing their energy, but definitely Uranus and Saturn. Uranus for the unexpected, the sudden shifts. I also have to look at Mars. Um, and see where Mars was. I have my astrological calendar with me, but I need to see during these times and try to figure out, you know, where Mars was in this placement as well. Yeah, Joey, thank you. It's the Uranus part of challenging to advance. Um, yeah, because Taurus stable foundation, but Uranus, I don't know what happened. It definitely, shuffled a lot of things with my sign. And luckily, this is on my side, and my life path is an 8. So I somehow have endurance to get through a lot of stuff that's happened in my life and whatnot. I'm still here. Interesting. Kay, hi, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to say hello. Hello, Kay. Um, oh, thank you for catching the troll, Gerald. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, yeah, these signs and omens are very strong, but to have them all happen in a short period of time, it doesn't really allow the body and the mind and the spirit to catch a breather, especially when you're in and out of these outages. Um, so it's something to really, assess. Yeah, Julianne, quite an end to 2021, but also 2022. There's something residual. Yeah, you're correct because we did. Julianne, Victoria, and I did our last um, discussion about the Tarot of the Holy Light, and we pulled cards to see how 2022 was going to be, and both of us through different cards were feeling that through the cards that there were still going to be challenges coming along the way in various directions. Little did I know that possibly that could have been it. So you're right. You're right about that. Rose, Rose and Pearl Tarot. Hi, how are you? I hope you're still here. I've been up here for about 5 years. Um, and it just really got me thinking too here about the infrastructure. It is small town, but it is also a resort area, more so further up the mountain, but people do come up here. There's an Airbnb across the street, so people know about this. Um, but the infrastructure here and the way things um, work, it's not good. It's not very supportive. There's a lot of weak spots that happen here when it comes to just getting things done. It's very slow. Um, there's a lot of rework that needs to be done after work's been done. So it's not a very stable place considering that I live in the mountains. Um, there's some problems up here, and that's something that I need to also, consider. Um, let me see here. I'm just gonna crows are sacred to Saturn. Okay. Yeah, crows very much so. It's a bit quiet right now. I'm outside. Um, let's see here. The angel on that card is your mother. Thank you. Artsy Girl Marilyn. Thank you. Taking a quick few seconds just to think about that. Thank you so much. How about that? Um, let's see here. You want me to keep your car with you until spring. Repairs can wait. They can, but because of the accident, I don't want to wait too long because I mean, regardless, I'm still going to be without a car, so I don't like to procrastinate. So if everyone's backed up, body shops are backed up. So um I have to wait like about a week and a half. Some body shops are out quite some time afterwards, so I need to take the soonest spot available so that they can assess damage and get it taken care of. I could still drive the car, but I just don't want to get into another accident, have someone rear end me with that damage being unfixed. So I'd like to get that taken care of. There's some other work I wanna do on the car, and I'll prioritize all of that. Um, Joey, I also have the Sun in Taurus. Oh, you're Taurus as well. Um, and a Saturn dasha period coming up at the end of the month. I can really relate to this mess. It feels like things get bad before getting better. I understand that, you know. Um, there's something that comes in challenging. And also we're in the month of Capricorn. And I kept thinking Capricorn ruled by Saturn. Saturn's all about restrictions, limitations. And I was just like, God, Capricorn, this has been a really tight month so far. Um, and and but I got to make it work. There's no, you can't reflect and go, what if it just is what it is, and you have to go through it. And that's where I am right now. So all that's done, I already knocked on the wood. Now let's start moving forward. Um, let's see here. You get 19 years. I see, Joey, you are starting Saturn Mahadasha. I don't know what that is. 19 years of it on January 22nd. Is this your return? Is this your return, Joey? Saturn. Venus rules cars and is retrograde in Saturn. Okay. Hi, Lady Capera. How are you? Um, well, I have, I just have to go with how things are. And I'm going to look at my astrological date book that I have. That's going to take me all for 2022 and take what astrological knowledge I understand and know and just apply it to what's going on. Um, yeah, I'll stop ruminating on this. It's just something to kind of, this is my homework now. Um, and also to backtrack a little bit, I need to hold this right now. um, let's see. I'm not an astrologer. My understanding is ordeals. So it's always 19 years of trouble. God, don't say that, because I can't deal with 19 years of this, but I know it depends on your chart. My Saturn return is still a few more years, so um, just just deal with this. This could be also signs as to how to prepare for things that come up ahead. It's something that, again, signs and omens. You know, how to handle something in the future. To learn from it. Um, Planetary dashas mark the time that a planet is especially activated in a person's Vedic chart. My heart goes out to you, Joey. I'm in Sati. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's happened already in that dasha. Sam becomes more of a, okay. Well, I hope so. I hope so, Julianne. I can't have any more detriment at this time, but that's not, we can't wish for things like this when the universe already has, you know, things happen for a reason, you know. Um, let's see here. You're starting Mars is a long way off. Okay. Thank you, Gerald. It's it's interesting having having the strength that you have before something like this happens, and you realize when things happen like this consecutively, how much you shut off and you just focus fight or flight, you know, your your perspective, spirituality goes outside the window, emotions go outside the window. Everything just shifted gears for me. It's like, keep warm. Hopefully the power comes on. Keep busy. I had to keep active. And the only way I kept active was shoveling. And I'd be out there for like quite a few hours shoveling. I'm not going to say how long. Um, so, um, I'm slowly building up. This is going to take some time to work through. And so we'll just, again, swaha. I'll slowly let it go because I still feel this energy. I went back to do my yoga practice a few days ago because I had to watch my neck. My neck is okay. I'm just, having to be careful. Again, like Candy and others have said, it could have been worse, and I'm grateful it wasn't worse. Things happen for a reason, signs and omens. Let's see here. Julianne, about 23, 24 years until you hit. Okay. All right. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but hopefully I will be in a situation where I can handle that particular period in a better way. Yeah, we have Jupiter and Pisces. That really didn't help me at all. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's being selfish. Pisces deals with it's a form of healing, subconscious, and I think that's probably where I'm at right now. Going more inward and healing all of this that's going on inside. Um, During one of the power outages, and I posted it on Instagram, but not on here because at that time I couldn't do anything with the computer. I pulled 3 cards, and what's interesting here is the 2 out of the 3 cards that I pulled, 2 of them came up in previous readings that I did. And again, this is probably something that I didn't pay attention to, thinking in lieu of what's happened. Um, but I think this was during the second power outage, and I'm by the fireplace. This is with the Crow's Magic Tarot. I pulled the Chariot. I can't remember what order I had this. It doesn't matter. Okay, so remember I was showing the Strength card. This is from the Barbara Walker Tarot. The card that I pulled from the Crow's Magic was 8, but Justice. So in lieu of the power outage, I sort of was feeling this. It's like, okay, there has to be some answers that need to be made about what's going on here. Power-wise, but I think also universal, higher spirits. So I got the Chariot, Justice, and then this is my upcoming card, my birth card for 2022, the Hermit. So I'm seeing the order, the structure of how things have been shaping up. And I don't know where this will lead me to, but it feels like I'm moving in that direction. The Chariot was actually my card for 2020. Okay. And it's interesting that it came up now. The other cards that I pulled from the Barbara Walker, these cards I'm showing you came previous to all of this. Okay, I showed you the Strength card. I kid you not, I pulled the Chariot. This is before all this happened. And then I got the Hermit. So signs and omens. This speaks louder than words. It's right there in front of me. So now I need to work with these energies. So to get all major major arcana archetypes before and during. All this stuff is pretty amazing. So yeah, especially Joey, these two different versions of the Hermit. And I like this. I'm feeling more, this is from the Crow's Magic, self-internal, but look at the moth going to the light. The moth is of transformation, metamorphosis. So there is definitely some shifts going on. I think this is how I'm feeling, how I was feeling about a week ago when everything was happening. It's like, why is this happening? This isn't fair. This isn't right. This shouldn't be happening, so on and so forth. And then the Chariot, dealing with opposing forces and bringing this all centered, taking control of it, which you really can't. You can't really take control when stuff like this happens. But with a card like that, with the Chariot, is, I think the control was not so much the forces outside, but just me. So that's what I was saying, fight or flight, trying to take care of this spirit who at times would have moments of running fits and just sometimes be solitary, and trying to console him while he's feeling my energy as well. It's a lot to manage, but you do what you do. Let's see here. I've been using my wonderful, the Hermetic Tarot. Excellent, Lady K. And I have to apologize to everyone that I have not been able to catch everyone's videos I've watched. I've put a little bit of comments here and there when I have power, and then I disappear. So there's a lot of catching up I have to do, which I'm doing now as things are starting to settle. So I'm sorry if I haven't been able to check in with everyone. I'm going to go back here a little bit. Shadow work, especially during times of needing to be in control, helps. I think the shadow work was already what I was doing with all this. I was going through it. I was going through the challenges of keeping myself in balance, even though I was feeling very imbalanced, and revealing my weaknesses, even though I'm trying to be strong, but revealing these aspects of myself, of how I handled some of the situations. I think some of the situations I handled, I could have done a little bit better energetically wise, because I was very frustrated because nothing wasn't working. It's back on, back off, back on, back off. I'm like, this is what I was feeling. Come on. But yeah, I felt the shadow work was just coming out. All those forces, all of that energy was just coming out. And now that's karma. It's karmic energy in the sense of how I viewed some of the situation. And also with this photo of my mom and me falling from the fireplace. Let's see here. Hermit's light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, I know, Joey. I know. And I know I'll see it. Maybe this will be come springtime. We will see, what lies ahead and what's going on. Let's see, Julianne. Dashas are periods of time in which certain planets have more strength or impact in someone's chart or life. They are determined by the natal nakshatra. The nakshatras are your moon and the sign that it's in. So that's good to know, Julianne, that at least I'm 2 decades away from dealing with anything like that. But yes. Let me scroll up here a little bit. Rose and Pearl. it's okay to start considering a move. You've proven you can handle the real tough stuff. It's okay to allow yourself to have an easier living space. Don't know the whole story, though. Yeah. There's a lot of work when it comes to um, maintaining a home and holding up the responsibilities. And and I am holding the fort by myself. So I think that's where the storm really came and hit me in the face. It's like I can't do this. I can do this, but I can't do this any longer, you know. And so that's why we're in the first week of January. We are still set to potentially have storms. It could happen, it could not. So what I was saying earlier before I did this live is, in lieu of everything that's happened, it's really telling me things like, you know, where should I go? And so that's what I'm going to be thinking of, especially since I'm not going to have a car for a while. I'll be home, which I'm looking forward to. Maybe this is what I need. When Gina, the therapist, the healer who was working on me, she said, "You know what? I think this is just." She said pretty emphatically. She goes, "You know what? I think this is a stop. This is a hard stop." And I know some of you who have had conversations off to the side have said, you know, take care of yourself, which I've been trying to do. And then when I feel like I've taken care of myself, something like this comes in. So I feel this was probably the biggest wake up call that I can have, where it's like, you stop right now, no more changes in all directions of your life, which, you know, I'm welcome to. There's going to be losses, you know, when a change comes, there's going to be losses, there's going to be sacrifices. And that's something that I need to be aware of. And I'm welcome to change, even though I'm an earth sun sign, but my two other signs, my moon and rising, is fire. So I can easily go with change and work with it. So, and also I feel it may be coming sooner than later. So we will see here. Okay, so we got some interesting folks that are popping in here, and that's totally fine. Thank you, Julianne, Victoria, Jen, Tarot Stash, everyone else who's been watching the trolls. Thank you so much for catching that, because I don't know. I may pull a Saturn Uranus energy onto those people, but I won't. I got my own things to deal with right now. Let's see. Your dogs are your storm. You want to come here, Spirit? Oh, okay. All right, Spirit. He almost made an appearance. Yeah, there is a lot of work, you know, and this is actually the first home that I've had that I'm actually, well, not actually, I'm leasing and seeing what's involved. There's a great responsibility, and it's beautiful. But, you know, when damage is done and whatnot, that's when you start seeing the costs that are involved. And I'm grateful that I'm leasing. You know, that's why I took this property, so that it can be maintained, anything like that from the outside, until I really feel settled and ready financially and energetically to get a house. But yeah. It is beautiful here. So universe knows what's right for me, where I need to be at a certain place and time. Yeah, I see it right here. Thank you. There we go. I like this. Thank you. right over my right shoulder too. Let's see. Your dogs are constantly crashing through your garden fences after foxes. Oh my God. Yeah. Spirit, he's an indoor outdoor cat. I have him in right now because let me see what our temperature is. It's chilly. It's about 47. Wow, warmer outside than it was a few last week in my house. But yeah, when it gets a certain temperature, I don't like him to go outside because I don't want him to get hypothermia. Um, oh, well, I don't feel it's my mom. I just feel it's spirits in general that just came through. So actually, you know what? I'm thinking about like a seatbelt when that light came through, just like a little seatbelt right across here. Um, but but yeah, so that's how my 14 days, 10 to 14 days has been pre well, Christmas Eve to January 1st of the new year. And I do know in this time, in this past week, I've been in touch with a few people who have lost some family members. So my heart goes out to them. A friend of mine, his father passed away a few days before Christmas, so he's on his way to the memorial. And then I got word of some other losses that's happened recently for people. So there's, I think there's a group of us that just get hit hard at certain times of the year when it rains and it pours. And the last time I had this happen was um, in 1994 when my mom passed away, and I had some other things happen in a short consecutive amount of time. And it put me to this place of where I was now. It's like, this is so much. This is so much. But, I deal. I deal. I try to do it gracefully. Sometimes it's not going to be graceful, but, I have to protect myself, my well-being and whatnot. Let me see here. So, how is Fox okay, Michelle? I just saw your comment here. Yeah, I know the seatbelt. It's gone just momentarily. Um, oh, Jen, my father didn't pass away. It was a friend of mine. His father passed away a few days before Christmas. I've been trying to get a hold of my father too because he had a birthday on the 27th of Christmas, or I'm sorry, the 27th of December, and um, I haven't been able to reach him. Not on my side. His phone's not picking up, and he doesn't know how to use how to retrieve voicemail, so I have to keep trying. Um, yeah, 1994 was that year. Kurt Cobain died. My mom died. A long-term relationship that I was in ended. A whole bunch of crap happened that year. Um, okay, thank you so much. um, okay, Michelle, give Fox a hug for me, okay? Um, Spirit's right here off on the side, just looking at me. So we send feline healing energy to you and to Fox. It's okay, Jen. Totally fine. Um, yeah. So I guess the cycle of things, right? There's not much you can do. There really isn't. And so, um, you want to make an appearance, Spirit? Let me see if Spirit will come here. If not, guess what? I'm going to pick you up so you could say hi to everyone. Oh. All righty. This was my pillow. We did it. We did it. Yeah. Yeah. We did it. Off you go. We did it. During the week of the power outages, he was peeing outside of his box. And I'm just like, oh dear. And I don't know if it was because of the lack of light, but I think that anxiety also, brought that out. So I'm watching him, making sure he's okay, but he seems to be okay. Jackie, hi, how are you? Oh, get out, Julianne. Are you kidding me? 1994, 2022, a Saturn's. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Okay. That's something to think about. Okay. Um, oh, well, hey, Lady K, happy early birthday, but you know, we'll we'll get to that point when you get there. Um, it's I'm not there yet. Still got a few more years. But yeah, it's when our birthdays come in and all these shifts and changes happen, either age-wise or circumstances. Um, when you get older, the way that you approach these things is quite different. It's definitely, especially as you get older, the fight to try to get these things in control it just doesn't seem even worth it. Not that I give up, but it's just like, you need to keep these things in balance. You need to keep these things in check. And when something comes in and it just throws everything off, it really wears you down, especially as you get older. When you're younger, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, you may whine, cry, get a few bruises and cuts. But for the most part, it's older, it's different. See, the older I get, the more relaxed I get. Um, I would get relaxed, but when I have all these outages and trees falling and car getting to a car accident, it's kind of hard to manage. And I just noticed I started doing this too. This is a sense of like connecting to yourself because I feel I've been so disconnected. So this is good. So I want to thank everyone who's been watching, listening, and engaging in the conversation because you're helping me get reconnected and feel more grounded towards things. Um, so I think what I'm going to do today through this whole process is I'm going to assess, prioritize where I need to be, what is of great importance, and that's something that we always need to keep in mind. And Jen, your tarot gratitude 2022 challenge, I think the timing of that seems to be good right now for me. So I'm gonna do my best and I have to say try because of the way I'm feeling. But I feel like I should do this to help me gain a little bit of a perspective of what's going on. Um, I did a VR. I created a VR, I think in December, similar to yours, not knowing that you did this. The 72-hour tarot uh, challenge, where basically you choose a deck and you spend 72 hours, 3 days with it, um, and you learn the nuances. You really get to the depths of a particular deck. Um, And it could be a deck that you haven't worked with before, it could be a new deck, or it's a deck that maybe you haven't worked with in a while, and it's time to get reacquainted. So your 70 not 72, your Tarot Challenge 2022, um, falls very much in line to where I need to be right now. Thank you, Jen. Yes, we'll work through that. Trolls, I don't know what time it is in Russia. It must be morning or something. I don't know. They're up doing their things. Thank you everyone for catching that. Um yeah, I will do this. And Jen, I like the way that you explained the tarot challenge because I put a comment. It feels like I could take more of a psychological approach on this, like to kind of see where my mind is, how to heal psychologically from this. Um, I don't think there's any PTSD, but possibly because of everything that had been building up. Um, but I will I will assess that when I get to doing those challenges, and I'll do a video of it. It may take me some time, but I'll get to it. Um, oh, listen. Oh, you're all outside my window. Oh, wow. I had 5 right outside my window. Oh, and there's one beautiful one right out here. One big one right on this tree. Wow. Um, Desert rose. I feel comfortable. Oh, thank you. Unfortunately, I'm trying to feel a little bit more comfortable with myself. Wow, that was amazing. I feel more of protection with the crows. I think that they are more of a protective sign than anything else. Um, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. I think this is good. Like working ahead, moving forward. Alrighty. Okay, I think that's all I can say right now. I think it's more than enough. Um, um, yeah, that's they went off, but we just need one to like land right there on that tree limb, right along there, because sometimes there's a few that go right on the arm of this tree, and they just caw, but not at this moment. Um, let's see. Yeah, uh, Tarot Gratitude Challenge 2022. I think that'll be wonderful. Um, okay, I think that is it. It's about 1:15. Um, how's everyone doing? How were your holidays? Hopefully not as exciting as mine, but exciting in a good way. Um, ah, that's right. The moon is oh, and I have to say this for most Gen Xers and whatnot. And I'm gonna do this as soon as I finish. Today is the birthday of one of my, or I shouldn't say one, probably my favorite performer. His birthday's today is David Bowie. And I played some David Bowie last Sunday after the power came back on. And it felt really good. So happy birthday, Bowie. We miss you so much. I think he would have been 72. So I'm gonna play some Bowie to lighten up the mood. Um, and and just remember him on his birthday as well. Yeah, let's do Bowie. I ended up playing. It came on automatically on my, iTunes. It was his last album. That album's very hard to hear, because for those of you who know Bowie and have listened to his catalog, I mean, he's one of the most eclectic performers that has ever been out there. But this album, a lot of people who are fans, we heard it was his calling card that, he's passing away. And for those who are fans, he passed away 1 or 2 days after Black Star was released. And so that was so heart-wrenching, um, to have that happen. But today I'll celebrate Bowie. One of my favorite songs of his is Lady Grinning Soul, which is one of the songs I have in my playlist, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful song. I sing along with it. It makes me feel good. Um, oh, wow, Julianne. Okay. Um, but some death, some COVID, and you know what? It's interesting in the sense that with the way things have been happening here in our state of California, deaths, people getting variants of COVID or just having illnesses and just the fires that we've had up here. It's it's like you almost become numb to stuff like this after a while, It's just like, okay, what's eh, you almost become a little cut off from this because we hear so much about it and we get exposed to it so much. You become disconnected, and so that's why I was saying that, doing this live and talking to you, it helps me put things back into perspective, you know? Um, I know Bowie or Prince, 2016 was an awful year music-wise, you know? I think Prince died in April, and then Bowie was in January Bowie, and actually a few months before, it was Lemmy from Motorhead and, oh, I forgot, from Stone Temple Pilots. His name is not coming to me, the singer, he passed away. I think that was the start, it was that order. Scott Weiland. So he passed away in November. December was Lemmy. Bowie, January. Then, Prince in April, and then a few years later, we lost Chris Cornell and, Chester, from Linkin Park. Gen Xers, we lost a lot of good people. We have Brian Ferry, who I know Candy, Soul, and Soil you know about, and I guess everyone else I shouldn't assume, because he's from the UK. Brian Ferry, he's up there as well. Mick Jagger, we have all these oldies that are still hanging in there. I used to play Aladdin Sane when I DJ'd in college. Yep. And was always called in to ask who it was that I was playing. Yeah, I mean, it's thank you. Thank you, Marilyn. You have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening. I'm gonna wind this up soon. I'm starting to go on a tangent a little bit, but, meditate, enjoy your day, okay? Um, yeah, it's interesting to see for our generation, us Gen Xers, everything that has changed for us, and I think it's almost no different than any other generation. We all go through our losses, but when you're in it and you're like, "Wow," you know, we've missed some really good people, but, it's a cycle, things just keep moving. Um, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Um, anything else? Anyone? How were the holidays, New Year's? Did you keep it all quiet? I still have, because of my power outage. Oop, right here. This is the Yule log that I need to burn. I created two. I burned the first one during Yule. This is the one that I was going to burn during Christmas, but I couldn't. The weekend of Christmas, so probably do it this weekend or do it tomorrow. But the energy I have to put into that log will have to be different because of everything that's been happening. Okay. Jen, yes, busy in a good way. I think you're mentioning that you're working on opening your practice, so that's wonderful. Keep it going. I feel that that's good. I think that's what you need to be doing right now and putting all your energy in. So um, good on you for that. Keep it going. And I hope in Australia, no fires. I hope you will have, you being the country, I should say, Australia will have a nice, tame summer, nothing destructive. Okay, I think that's it because I'm kind of blanking out on anything more to say. I feel like I've expressed everything that I need to. So thank you, everyone. Um, Candle still burns here. Thank you, Michelle Marie. This I hold. Thank you so much. Julianne Victoria, thank you. And yes, I think I'll do a live. I'll do some live readings on Monday. And I don't know time-wise where that'll be. Oh, thank you, Candy. Crank it up. Crank it up. Okay, before I close up, um, you're welcome, Jen. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I know we'll connect. We keep saying, but everything right now is involving timing in our lives and stuff. So we'll connect. Gerald, um, I'm going to set up time with you so I can get you on my channel, and then we can also do the BW tarot discussion when you're ready in January. I'll have time once my car's in the shop. Um, so contact me and let me know how your time frame is looking for that, Gerald. Um, oh, no, it's okay, sweetheart. Um, oh, I was gonna say something and I went, oh, spirit's biting me now. Okay, all right, 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 all right. Cool it. Um, yeah, there's so much going on in my head. So, I may do a live on Monday, do live readings because I think I'm gonna take an extra day off so I can really get everything a little bit more settled. Um, oh, okay, wonderful, Candy. Um, can you let's see, I don't know how to reach you. My email address I think is on my profile here, or my website is themysticrosetarot.com, and you can contact me there. So that would be wonderful um, to chat to you about this. Uh, thank you, Julianne Victoria. Yeah, it's it's gonna, whatever happens happens at this point. Um, I was I have mentioned about the introduction to tarot and astrology. I'm going to put that on hold and um, and uh, and get my situation a little bit settled. So if anyone was interested in that course, I did put a video about it. So I think I'm going to hold off right now for the time being. Um, Things happen for a reason, right? So I don't want to put too much more on my plate. than what I have already energetically wise. I don't want to expend myself too much, but I will continue to do my tarot astrology readings. I've already finished the ones for Capricorn, for the earth, air, fire, and water signs. Those are up. Next up, we're going to be moving into the sign of Aquarius. I believe that's on January 20th. And so I will do a profile for that sign of Aquarius. Spirit, he wants to go outside. And then do readings for the month of Aquarius for all the elemental influences of stop that, of earth, air, fire, water. Sorry about that, everyone. Be still. Be still. It's been hard because he wants to go out and the weather has been so cold. I may let him out for a little bit so he can blow off his excess feline energy. So those are the updates. I'll focus too as well on doing the Tarot Gratitude 2022, which feels like it's needed at this time for me. Thank you so much, Joey, Michelle Marie, Candy, Jen, Marilyn. Let's see who else. Rose and Pearl Tarot. Pepper Jackie, Lady K. Nope, we'll skip Trolls K. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who else I had here earlier. Ooh, lots of trolls. Whoa, okay. Live. Thank you. I'm seeing who else. Julianne Victoria, Rose and Pearl, Michelle, Jen. I think Joey, of course, Joey. Thank you so much, everyone. This chat's very long, so I can't get to everyone, but please know from my heart, I appreciate you listening and hearing what's been going on. So my blessings to each and every one of you. I will be in touch with you. Gerald, again, send me an email, let me know. Candy, send me an email as well, and we can set that up to chat. And Michelle Marie, thank you again for the support. Julianne Victoria, Jen, everyone, enjoy your day. And I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much.